Neutral.
I'm Taylor.
And I am Caleb. We are talking about Phantom Menace.
Star Wars Episode 1.
We're going to start being nice to it because everyone's super mean to it.
Everybody's super mean to it.
I genuinely, this is my probably biggest hot take, is that Phantom Menace is my favorite Star Wars movie. Everyone tells me that I am wrong. I do not care.
Well, you can't be wrong about what your favorite is, but you can have that opinion for the wrong reasons.
I probably do. But yes, if you are joining us, thank you for joining us. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that fun stuff. And in the comments below, name one good thing you like about Phantom Menace.
And if you want, you can follow it up with the thing you dislike the most about the Phantom Menace.
Is Jar Jar Binks, right?
I mean, for most people, I think it will be.
Is it for you? That's the question. What do you dislike the most about
The inconsistencies.
Inconsistencies?
But we'll get into that.
Okay, well, name one. Which one inconsistency takes you out of the movie?
The very beginning. Well, okay, that's a stronger point, so I'll save it. One weird inconsistency is when everybody's going back to Naboo at the end of the movie, all the ships in the blockade are gone. Why are all the donut ships, all the Trade Federation control ships, why are they all gone? There's only the one. There's the main control ship.
Well, I think it's Planet, right? I think they are there, but I think a better point is so the blockade doesn't stop them.
The blockade doesn't work. It clearly doesn't work.
It is supposed to be blocking supplies, but it can't block whatever they flew it on.
But visually also, they're just not there. And it doesn't matter if they're on a different part of the planet.
I mean, because do we see them like enter Naboo
at the very beginning of the what?
Like when they go back to Naboo? I don't know that they. I don't know. I don't remember that.
Well, the planet is called Naboo. If you're thinking of the city where all the humans live, it's.
I want to say you said all the blockade ships are gone. Yeah, I don't remember seeing like the planet again from like the outside perspective where you would see the blockade.
We see.
I don't see the return
down onto the planet. We do. They say a lot.
Yeah, they should have stopped it. They should have maybe been able to stop them.
Shoot them out of the sky or something. Well, they tried to do that at the beginning of the movie and it didn't work.
I was like, because eventually they do show them back up there.
No.
Yes.
No, it's
because they go to the one that controls them.
You don't find that very strange? How there's
that is not the strangest thing I find.
No, it's not. But it is very inconsistent. It's a blockade. At the beginning of the movie, we see dozens of those control ships, and then when they go back to Naboo, they're gone, except for one. All of the droid forces are being controlled by a singular control ship.
Yeah.
Why don't you think it would make more sense that if there were a bunch of the ships, that they would just be able to like control?
I don't know. Maybe they won't have a problem with that.
You don't have a problem with the blockade being gone?
No. I truly do not know or believe that the blockade was shown completely gone. I don't remember that.
But
for one, having one ship be controlling all the droids, I don't have a problem with that. I think that logistically makes a lot of sense too. You want to have all your guys in one room, not have someone on the other side of the planet also controlling their separate troops. I want to have all my generals because they're all droids, in one room on one ship controlling everything. I like that.
So if it goes down, you lose.
Yeah, but the hubris is that you don't. Like how would they fight? They Gungans, or they have no army. They totally don't have a child who will reenact blowing up the Death Star, which is what that is. So I don't know. I don't have a problem with it poetically. I don't have a problem with it logistically. Avengers copies it.
You may not have a problem with it, but
like I said, I will die on this hill.
That's fine.
And that's not come with stronger things. We've heard all the strong. I don't think that's strong.
Have you heard that before?
That doesn't debunk.
Have you heard that before?
What?
About the ships being gone?
No, I haven't. I haven't heard that. That's why I don't know.
Okay, got your dog.
We just watched it the other day.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
We just watched it.
We sat down for this.
It's fresh on the mind.
This is the closest thing we've had to debate because I know
we're gonna get heated.
This is the only I I don't die on a lot of hills for movies. Certainly not Star Wars movies. I will go to my grave.
You're clearly biased.
It's yes, it is the.
And that's okay.
It's one of the only movies that I will be like truly biased on, and yeah, I unapologetic.
So okay, you want a stronger point?
Yes.
You want a stronger point? The script says in the opening crawl, while the Congress of the Republic endlessly debates the alarming chain of events, the Supreme Chancellor
Valorum.
has secretly dispatched 2 Jedi Knights, the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy, to settle the conflict.
Yes.
The Supreme Chancellor, who we see and talk to in the movie,
Yeah.
secretly, yes, Zod, Terrence Stamp, I've seen this.
All right. Yes. Yeah. Debbie Downer.
Yeah,
Actual like rest in peace.
Well, I marked.
That's a legend.
I marked out because we watched it. Yeah, he just died recently.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Is that Terrence Stamp?" And you're like, "Yes."
Yes. Me, who clearly knows actors, was like, yes.
Zod, he voiced Marco, one of the villains in Oblivion.
Yeah.
But you know,
And like Superman just came out, so always like fresh on.
yeah, it's fresh
Fresh on the mind too with that.
So my problem with this line in the opening crawl, I don't have a problem with the opening crawl. I have a problem with the line of the Supreme Chancellor secretly sent 2 Jedi Knights to resolve the conflict. And then later in the movie, the Jedi never testify and say anything about how...
That's a bit of the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a bit of the problem.
It's on the like developing problem of the Jedi and their relationship with the Senate.
Yes, but
I don't have a problem with it. No, keep going.
Keep going. But
I want to. Yeah, well,
there was a logical issue with this.
Yeah, so I think you're right.
The Supreme Chancellor, Valorum, who is also Naboo's strongest proponent, as said by the Queen.
Yes.
He has been going to bat for them, and he's the Supreme Chancellor. He sent secretly 2 Jedi Knights. So the Council clearly, the Jedi Council
For sure.
clearly knows about it, right?
Yeah.
So is Qui-Gon's word and Obi-Wan's word not good enough to say definitively, yes, there is a blockade, and not only a blockade, but an invasion of the planet.
Yeah.
But they never go to the Senate. They go back to the Council, and the Council doesn't seem to give a shit about about the invasion or the blockade. They care about the idea that there's a Sith Lord
and then Anakin.
and Anakin.
Yeah.
It's complete. Those completely overshadow what they were sent there to go with anyway. Which I don't have a problem with the Council being interested in that. I have a problem with the Supreme Chancellor being the guy, like named guy to send Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan to go deal with this problem. They get attacked. They get down to the planet, they see the invasion, they rescue the Queen, and then they never come before the Galactic Senate and call out the Trade Federation. That is completely ridiculous. That is a huge problem. Because if I'm going to say the argument is like they're neutral. No, they're clearly
They're clearly not, but I'm like, that's the problem with it, right? Like I think you're right. They should, but I am okay with it. Justification is that is part of the world, but the relationship between the Jedi and the Senate is bad. They are a separate. They're the Catholic Church, right? Like in theory, they're in a religious organization outside of the Senate. That's why the Senate is completely tied up. So Valorum goes around them to a peacekeeping organization.
They are guardians of peace and justice to the galaxy.
To the galaxy, not the Republic.
They are. My allegiance is to democracy.
You're missing the point.
How? They are
not a government. They are not. That's the point. When they get combined in Revenge of the Sith, That's a whole reason for Revenge of the Sith.
Do you mean
Is that they
in Attack of the Clones?
no. Well, yes, Attack of the Clones.
Because they become the generals of the army.
They become because they're the closest available resource. It's like your social security card not being an ID card, but everyone using it as an ID card. It's the closest tangible thing. We already have this thing. Let's pull it in. Jedi. We have these guys who are peacekeepers. They do go do these. We need someone who can fight.
We had nobody. Example within eye distance of the fucking Senate.
They are not tied to the government.
I'm sorry.
That is a fact. They are not tied to the government.
You're telling me that the Pentagon...
No. The Pentagon is part of the government. The Jedi are not part of the government, of the Senate. Valorum is tied up in the Senate. So he goes to an independent body. You are correct. The independent body seems pretty governmental, but that's part of the sliding scale that leads to them being able to be framed as taking over the government. They are framed to take over the government.
Sure, but that's a later issue.
Yes, this is the seeds of you're talking about it like it's a plot hole, but it is intentional world building.
I don't know if it's a plot hole, but it doesn't make sense. You as Chancellor,
you as a citizen, he is Naboo's biggest. He's
not going to do anything about it. Like, if their word means nothing, so that they either can't or won't, either way, go before the Senate and do anything with. And we see, like,
I think they could have been brought before the Senate, but I think that makes sense.
I know.
Because Palpatine doesn't want to. Before they can testify.
Be Palpatine's
listen.
Okay.
Before they get a chance, they land, right? It is bureaucracy. You can't just go fucking testify. They got to put it on the schedule. We'll get back to you in 3 weeks. We'll talk about it then. Before they have a chance to testify, Palpatine goes to Amidala and gets her and manipulates her and gets her to kick Valorum out so he becomes chancellor, so none of that testimony fucking matters.
Okay.
He moves them before they can testify. So I agree. I would have liked to see the test, but you got to think about this, like how our government works too, is
our government would call witnesses.
Our government, would they?
Especially
if they're tied up already.
If a leader of think about it. It is supposed to be a different kind. We don't know all the ins and outs or laws. One of the weird things about the whole issue is that the Trade Federation has set up a blockade around the Naboo system, right? So they're blocking anything going in and blocking anything going out, or at least they try to.
They seem to attempt it.
They do everything except for our heroes. Whatever. I'm actually okay with that. It's a little weird, but fine. I'll say that. I'll chalk that up to the Queen's ship being really good. I don't care that much about that point. My issue is, while we don't know all that much about how the Galactic Republic or the Senate works, how we are shown in the movie is Amidala gets brought to Coruscant. She is almost immediately given a podium to say her piece about the situation on Naboo.
Yes,
her word isn't good enough. So the two people that the Chancellor sent as witnesses or sit there to resolve the issue,
there's no chance for that. There's no chance for it because she's in that moment. You're not listening to me. You're not listening to me. No confidence vote right now. Boom. There is no chance for them to call the Jedi. They're like, there's so many proponents who are supporting the Trade Federation.
Why weren't the Jedi with Queen Amidala in the Senate?
Because they had to go bring Anakin before they have to go check in with their superiors because their superiors aren't the Senate.
I'm sorry.
Amidala goes to her superiors and the Jedi go to theirs.
I'm sorry, but we're not giving any kind of solid structure of how time is progressing here either.
Right.
So it's like
it's a movie. Well, especially with Star Wars, they wipe. So sure. You have no idea.
We don't know about the gaps of time going on, right? That's fine. I'm fine with that. But with that comes the issue that there is more than enough logical leeway to say that they could have gone and checked in and then gone to the Senate because that's what they were here from the get-go to do.
I disagree because it wasn't actual Senate business. It was Chancellor business. It was independent business. And on top of it, I don't think you're looking at it logically like our bureaucracy is bad enough. This is a galactic bureaucracy. There isn't like logic. There's no logic. It's all red tape.
Right.
So it's part of the story is that would it make more sense for the Jedi go and testify? Yes, but they literally can't. They can't because of politics. You can't because
I'm sorry.
I don't think you're paying attention to like
I understand.
I know, but I'm saying I think it is a very
flimsy argument.
it is a very flimsy kind of concept. Like it's politics. Politics make no sense. If you are looking at it through a political lens, they are all tied by social contract and dumb bullshit. That's not a miss. That's a yes, look at this. This is how democracy dies. Like it's a lot of people have problems with Phantom Menace because of the politic aspect of it, but it is a pretty accurate depiction of how easy it is to game the system with people who hand are tied by invisible tape. Like it is part of the story of the Jedi. You also like, do you think they won't listen to Queen Amidala? Why would they even listen to the Jedi who they did not send?
The Chancellor.
They voted the Chancellor. Clearly they had the votes for no confidence. Clearly they didn't like this guy.
So here's the thing.
So it's like you sent a peacekeeping organization into this conflict that we have tied up. You, the president of the galaxy, aren't getting your way.
The Speaker of the House or something like that, right?
You are the head of state, very clearly the head of state. You are not getting your way in our diplomatic process, so you sent in a mercenary organization.
It's not a mercenary organization.
You were saying that they are a Pentagon type organization. So whatever you want to call it,
Pentagons aren't mercenaries.
Whatever you want to call them. You said an independent organization.
Guardians of Peace and Justice in the Galaxy.
Can we agree that is an independent organization? By definition.
No, I can't.
Then I think you are misunderstanding Star Wars.
I don't think so, but that's fine.
They are independent. Like they just strictly are independent. They become generals of the Republic.
Build their home on the, the core world where the Senate is also taking place, so they could have like a.
How many independent organizations are housed in Washington D.C. that have nothing to do?
Sure.
Well, again, you're picking and choosing the logic parts.
I really don't. I don't think so.
Okay, but you are not.
If you could,
so the head of state sending, regardless, anybody without government approval, without his peers' approval, you don't think that'd be a fucking problem to people who already don't like him?
I do.
That's an impeachable offense. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what side of the coin. They kicked him out for less. I'm just saying you, Taylor, cannot see how that would be a problem.
No, I do see how that would be a problem.
Okay.
So then why is it?
It wouldn't have helped. It wouldn't. Well, then why is it written that way? Because the prequels are, yes, the story of Anakin Skywalker, but it is the story of Palpatine's masterpiece manipulation of politics.
Here's an interesting question based on that, and we can move off of this topic because I think we can agree to disagree on how we view the Jedi.
I will, but I truly don't understand how in episode 1, episode 2 and 3, yes, I see your argument of they are clearly tied to government.
And that's argument.
We're only talking about episode 1. They are independent. They just strictly are. There is no army that they are leading. There is no Palpatine that they are stepping in and trying to remove from office. They are truly guardians of peace in the galaxy as a whole, not the Republic. The Senate would have sent them, not the Chancellor. Regardless, I want to make sure.
Seems like you can't agree to disagree.
Because it's just like a fact of episode 1. Episode 2 and 3, I
state the fact.
They are not.
They are
a part of the government.
Okay.
They are strictly not in the chain of government.
I will concede that they are not a part of the government.
Good. And like you know history, Charlemagne and the Pope.
Okay.
They are interconnected.
Yeah.
They are not part of the same. There's the Pope and there is Charlemagne. Yes, there's some interconnected fuckiness, but they are technically, by definition, separate entities.
I would say that that's not an equivalent example, but I get what you're saying. It's just not. It's just not. It's not.
How is it not?
I can't. I don't
Please
know.
explain. That's what I'm saying. I don't know where you're disagreeing.
I'm disagreeing because these, while being an individual entity, while the Jedi being an independent entity in the Galactic Republic, being known as these space wizards with laser swords who go around trying to set things right. By the Layden's definition, that's what they are, right?
Yes.
So,
That's what I
the
said.
Chancellor, who wasn't always the Chancellor, probably was a senator at one point, right? So I'm making a lot of inferences.
I would assume Valoran's the senator before Palpatine. Because
maybe
Palpatine is the senator, and then Amidala is the one after him.
but it doesn't necessarily have to go that way. He could be from a different system and have been voted in. Because
He is from Naboo, isn't he?
Palpatine is, but we don't know. Or you'd have to let us know.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I don't actually know if he is. He's their biggest supporter, so I just assumed.
You can
that he was.
assume, but you can't infer.
I,
Those are different things.
I don't know for a fact that he is from Naboo. Yes.
So, mute point. Neither of our arguments really rely on that.
No.
Okay. We can understand that Valoran viewed the Jedi in such a way that they would be helpful to resolve the situation. The Senate is caught up in all this red tape and bureaucracy and corruption that is going on, right? So he makes the unilateral decision to send a separate entity, which are known throughout the galaxy as keepers of the peace, to go resolve the issue. He didn't send a diplomat. He sent the Jedi
Yes.
to resolve the situation. Okay. Clearly, the viewpoint he holds of the Jedi are people that can A, solve problems, probably have a good intentions when doing so, and can be trusted. So, if he's being able to be voted out for a vote of no confidence, and I feel like the reason the vote of no confidence works in that way is because it's coming from Papa. It's coming from the world leader. Right?
Yeah. Which is
Here's how that
it comes from Palpatine. Because he picks the person that it works with.
Well, I feel like I would infer that while a senator represents a system, the world leader is probably the person who would have to come and say, I have a vote of no confidence in the chancellor. I don't feel he represents the best intentions all around.
Yes.
Right? So I don't see, like, if the Trade Federation came up and said, I have a vote of no confidence in the Supreme Chancellor. Well, it doesn't really work that way because they're being accused of doing something incredibly illegal, but it's perfectly legal, which is inconsistent. I'm just going to assume that Gunray is saying it's perfectly legal as a bold-faced lie.
There are certain leaders in recent memory that I can tell you for a fact says it doesn't say I can't, so I must be able to.
Right.
And while people are trying to actually debate and being forced to be stopped in that debate, they just go and do whatever the fuck they want.
Right.
It's not legally or illegal. That's a democracy.
But it's not illegal.
Yes, exactly. It's a gray area. That's
a gray area.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's a well portrayal of how the shit works.
And I would agree with you.
And you're 100% right. Amidala is the only person the vote of no confidence works for.
And it only works because she is the one who is saying, hey, they're doing something wrong. it kind of falls apart because the very next thing to come out of Valoran is, would you allow for a delegation to go and inspect Naboo to see if this is happening?
He's teeing up the Jedi.
Didn't you guys already do that though?
No, not you guys. Him, unilaterally.
Didn't he already do that?
He can't do that. So the whole, like, is it legal?
If
Is it
she
legal?
said yes, could Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan come and
I think so.
testify?
But it goes to no confidence instead.
yes.
So I think yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's a good plot point. That's not a miss. That you 100% agree with everything you just said. That's why I think it's not a miss. So that why would you not have the Jedi testify? Valoran's trying. He unilaterally did something that a lot of people in the chamber would say that's illegal, even though if it's a gray area, just like what the Trade Federation is doing. So he's trying to tee it up. He's trying to walk him there, no confidence. It all goes away. That's why he sits down in his seat like, fuck, this happened so fast. That's my ally. I was gonna get the Jedi in here. I was gonna have him testify. It was all teed up. They're clearly invaded, and now I'm not gonna be chancellor because I know the votes. I know the votes are gonna go against
Wait a
me.
minute. I presented that. The movie didn't present that as like a thing that was happening. The movie did not present that as what that was doing. I presented that hypothesis.
I'm telling you, I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but based on what you said, yeah, I'm telling you, you're saying why you can't bring the Jedi in, but saying I wish they brought the Jedi in. You're trying to say both things.
The movie doesn't do a good job in telling us why they don't have the Jedi there. It's a problem. You can do a lot of the writing.
It's not the point of it. The point is not for the Jedi to come to testify. No, I don't think so.
That I agree to disagree then.
Okay. Lightsabers are cool, right?
Yes, they are. But you know what's cooler than that?
Pod racing?
Light speed travel.
Where are you going with that? Are you just how they end up on Tatooine?
Yeah, how do they get to Tatooine?
Well, the things they shoot the hyperdrive, so they can't bounce. So they're in the area, so they have to stop, and hopefully
They don't go to hyperspace. They just fly away from Naboo.
Right, their hyperspace drive gets broken. Right, it's tap. Right, and so Tatooine is the closest place they can go.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the closest place.
Are we sure?
Seems that way. Yeah, that's what the story tells us.
Okay. This is taking exterior knowledge, and that can be a problem because I believe that when you're looking at a film, like if we're looking at the Phantom Menace by itself, we should look at it by itself.
Yeah.
I think there's probably, and I haven't looked at it before, but in those visual encyclopedias, right? There's a big map of the galaxy. Coruscant is inward. Where is Naboo and Tatooine?
Both outer rim.
Naboo is a part of the Republic, and in like an affluent seeming planet, even if it's close to the outer rim. Like, how do they get to Naboo? Like, space travel is still pretty far, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't know how difficult it actually is to calculate.
Okay,
like,
we've had this talk before,
right?
Star Wars is fantasy. Star Wars is not sci-fi. Star Trek telling you exactly how space travel should work in the distances. I fucking love it. Star Wars is magic and make-believe in D&D in space. It's fantasy. Star travel makes no sense. The star travel makes absolutely no sense.
They go into hyperspace.
They do go into hyperspace. It's a plot device because in fantasy you don't need to explain how the magic necessarily works. So it's like they just have to tell you that they're traveling in between these places, but they don't have to tell you how far away things are from each other. Now, according to my little doohickey here, they're in the same band of existence, being the outer ring.
That's a hell of a measurement.
There's the outer rim, there's the inner rim.
Our core is about together.
Again, it doesn't matter because parsec is not a distance of.
I know. It's not a measurement of distance. It's a measurement of like. It's not a
No. It's not a measurement of time. Yeah, it's a measurement of distance. So he did.
Don't get it fucking confused.
So I love. Okay, this is a total tangent. I love in Solo where they're like, that's not how that fucking works. But then they fix it. We're like, no, he wormholes. So like he did it in less
So yeah,
distance, which is very like that's the thing. Such a funny save. It's,
Other
it's not
things
fire.
like-
He skips distance.
yeah.
Hilarious.
Other things treat hyperspace and traveling through space differently, right? Most of the time in Star Wars, it's just a wipe. How long were they on that shit around the thing?
It does that
plot.
that is it doesn't start a plot again. So Star Wars doesn't really do travel unless it starts a plot, right? They wipe, right? Which is I love that, especially like when you're playing like Star Wars RPGs. It's very useful. Like, how do we get there? It doesn't fucking matter. The story's there. It's not in the space. But technically, yeah, like whenever they hit hyperspace, that's supposed to be like still like weeks to months of travel. It's supposed to be like they're going across the galaxy.
How about that?
No. I 100% like I've looked like there is
This one, the description.
this one is from like the visual dictionaries and like look is a galaxy, right? Even if you're traveling at warp speed, it's not days, right? You're still weeks to months instead of years and decades.
Well, warp.
So it's like
Warp is
going from the core to the outer rims should take a few months. It's like boat travel. You're going fast as fuck, but that should take you decades, if not centuries.
the real answer is we don't know.
No, I'm telling you, I know.
Okay.
Like there is source material.
So how long does it take to get from Naboo to Tatooine?
Now like I'm trying to find like Dantooine, Jakku. I'm trying to find fucking
No, please, not higher. Why does everybody want?
Naboo and Tatooine are neighbors. Look at that, Naboo, Tatooine. They're a hop and a skip compared to the galaxy as a whole. Comparatively, hop and a skip.
By this map?
Find maps you want. Are you so is it consistent? I'm trying to look. Yes,
It's important.
It's so they're
It's
close.
important.
They're close. Sorry. So Tatooine is right. They're on the border from each other. So Naboo, they're close. Naboo is technically mid-rim. Tatooine is just on the other side of the border in the outer rim. So that what you said earlier of Naboo is in the Republic, it's because they're technically mid-rim, but you see how close they are. This is a different map.
It's a different map with different locations. No, that's fine.
No. It's the same locations. It's different map. You asked for a different map with consistent locations.
Shit.
It's consistent locations. You can thumb through them.
Naboo.
You don't gotta be skeptical on every piece of information. I'm telling you, Star Wars. Especially pre-Disney, Star Wars there was a lot of it. There was a lot of it, and stuff like maps. You had to be consistent on. And I'm telling you, through Legends, through the visual dictionaries, the stuff George was on, through up to the sequels, because the sequels throw out all concept of space and time. We're not talking about that.
Okay.
But I am telling you to get to the core, to the mid rim, outer rim,
Okay.
in all of Star Wars canon up to Disney, weeks to month.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
I'll ask ChatGPT.
I'm saying okay. You don't seem to believe me.
No, but your point is, especially like even looking at the maps, there's closer planets than Tatooine to Naboo.
Are they all part of the Trade Federation or friendly to the Trade Federation? Because that's why they go to Tatooine. Is because
It was
not-
close, and they shouldn't be found there, right? They're still trying to run away, and they're trying to be hidden. Not by the Trade Federation, by worse than the Trade Federation.
by worse. How did traffic?
How do you track them?
Yeah, how do you find them?
That's a good point. I don't know that one.
How'd they send that message? Remember that message? Remember that message? You must contact me. People are dying. By the way, why did they claim? They have its phone in the Senate, but fuck that. Fuck that.
They have a phone number.
They had their phone number?
It's their ship, right? I mean, you assume they'd have that phone number. Like, it's your
Bop, boop.
like. Do you have the
Cassie, you hear me now? Good.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Why? How?
You're telling me your government wouldn't have the way to contact your ship?
If they can contact them,
They can probably track them.
then why does Gunray say that they're out there? Like, what? Did Maul go
I think Maul just did Maul shit and figured it out.
Maul was just like, these fucking idiots didn't like.
Well,
there's a track. They didn't look at any.
I don't
Naboo. You know what?
I'm thinking he goes. They left Naboo. This is a Trade Federation spot. This is a Trade Federation spot. This is the first planet.
Go there.
This is the first planet that makes sense. Let me look there, and then he found. I think logically, Occam's razor. You can say that.
There's no direction as to how they found them. He just found them. I'm fine with them finding him. Maul finding them.
What was that? Like, Billy, there's no. If you had to make a justification, no. If you had to make an explanation, would you not go? They couldn't. The same thing. I couldn't go there. I couldn't go there. I couldn't go there.
I would make Maul meditate.
Well, maybe he did.
Yeah, maybe. But we didn't see it. We don't see enough of Maul, which is another problem.
I can flatly agree with you.
Flatly with Maul.
You said something during the movie, and in the end fight, Maul doesn't say a word, and that's a disservice.
Maul,
you could have had Maul monologue, a monologue. And obviously we get a lot of Maul later on, but we don't get live action Maul ever again other than Solo, and that's we don't get Ray Park saying Maul lines ever again.
Yeah.
And you were bang on, because there's moments in that, and there's tension, right? There's tension, especially when he's like stalking Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's hanging. That's a perfect time for him to do some Scar Disney villain bullshit of just talking shit and then be cut down. But he didn't say a word the entire fight.
Casing in the corridor with the red beams separating them all.
I really like that exchange.
Would have been nice if they had talked. If Maul had goaded or said anything.
You know what? With the red beams, I disagree. Everything post that, I think he should be, as soon as he kills Qui-Gon, he should be talking shit to Obi-Wan. Because also we get Obi-Wan and him talking shit the rest of Star Wars. But the red beam thing, it shows the characterization of Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul very well without dialogue. And I think that's really cool. Because you see Obi-Wan try to be calm, but know he's pissed off and he's clearly still a Padawan. You see Qui-Gon immediately just go into meditation. He's a master Jedi. And you just see Maul like a caged tiger.
Yeah.
And just going back and forth.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been cool for him to say something, but not there.
It's not enough.
He should say stuff in the next part. We don't get enough Maul. Even aside from that, like you just said, show Maul meditating to find them. Mm-hmm. We could have had more Maul. We could have had less Jar Jar and more Maul. That was an option. That was on the table.
Oh, man.
All right, so like I said, I will die on this hill for this movie, but I am not a fool. The Jar Jar stuff, as much as from a visual effects standpoint, goddamn masterpiece for the time. Everything about the character direction is the weirdest shit. The weirdest decision you could have made. And he's in way too much of the movie.
Yeah.
You could take Jar Jar out and people would have a much different opinion.
He's a constant, for me, annoyance.
There's even the scenes like on the ship where we're having cool Anakin, and well, not even that cool, but like we're having characterization with Padme and Anakin, and Jar Jar's doing like, and
we're having a scene for some reason.
I mean, has no reason to be there, and he's an eyesore. As much of a technical marvel that he is, he's an eyesore in every shot. He's so out of place.
There are some shots where he looks fun. Like the CG does look good for the time.
Yeah, it's
like some of it doesn't look very good.
Again, 98 or 99.
Yeah.
Nothing like I have a joke that I say, like, Jar Jar walks so Thanos can run. The Thanos we got in Infinity War and Endgame is like you could draw a direct line from the technology they used for Jar Jar. But yeah, even if you aren't in, there's some shots where if he was an endearing character, you would care that the CG wasn't amazing in 2025, but he's annoying. So when he looks bad, it's double.
He annoyed us. Some people might find him funny, and that's fine. It's subjective.
I can't find him funny. It's just a tonal dissonance.
Yes, he ruins scenes that are supposed to be like important, like the dinner scene.
I think ruin is a proper term. Like, he's a stink. I said something during the movie. He's like, this is a good movie. There's a noticeable smudge on the camera. of the shape of Jar Jar Binks.
You got particularly upset over upset might not be the right word, but like when they're about to formulate the plan in the grass fields, Boss Nass is telling Jar Jar he's gonna be a general and he faints, and you like, why did he faint?
Why does he comically faint?
What?
But why does he faint at all?
Well, because it's scary because he's a general.
Yeah.
He's gonna be on the front line.
Yeah, no, that was your saying, like, for sure. But again,
Play for laughs.
It's played for laughs. Like, you have in the original trilogy, there's things, right? Like, there's the Ewoks that are intentionally silly, but they're also grounded and horribly violent. Oh, like, kill so many stormtroopers.
I don't think anybody is going to like point to the Ewoks as like a
No, but I'm saying
long example.
I'm saying there's patterns of the silliness in the original trilogy that if George had more tools, he would have made worse. Over time, there are some silly things like McClunky.
Well, he did make things worse, right? He went back and made things worse.
So Jar Jar isn't like a where did this come from? It's like the signs were there.
This is a George. This is a George Lucasism.
Yeah, is it George Lucas?
Nobody was there
like clearly a cartoon character in a real world.
You know, if you wanted to do that, they couldn't do it called Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah,
that works. I better.
Yeah, and I pointed out, like, there was a real guy in a Jar Jar costume the entire time, but they completely CG over him. And one of the things I point out is, like, when he's in the costume, his arms are proportioned like a human, right? Like, it's Chewbacca being a guy. Like, you believe that it's a practical effect and you're like, cool, whatever. They were supposed to just do the head, but they CG'd the whole body, and his forearms are like this big, so his proportions are so cartoon.
Yeah,
like he's like a cartoon character. Everything he does is a cartoon character. You Frame Roger Rabbit's a great example.
and you're chalking up to him being an alien.
I wish I died laughing.
Look like that either, because most of the other aliens are also guys in suits.
There's Sebulba.
Sebulba
He's a CG character as well.
Better CG character than George.
And he's a badass, and you're like, believe him, and you're like, I don't want to fuck with that guy. He's a cool character. Other than when he goes, like, that's the only time where it's like, all right, he's a little cartoon. Yeah, he lost. Dude, he lost, and it's like, all right, well, he can't say fuck, I guess. So, but that scene where they interact, you're 100% right. The barkeep is a full practical guy.
Yeah, it's a costume.
And it looks great.
But then we just do a costume.
Yoda in that movie, the original Yoda,
Sure, why not?
is a puppet as well.
Yeah, it really bothered me when we were watching.
When it was the updated one where they don't have the puppet.
It's not a puppet. It's like the puppet looked fine.
Yeah, but the other two Yodas are CG, so you have to go back and change that one for consistency.
No, you really don't.
Just like you have to go back and change Jabba to a slug for consistency.
So you need to change Yoda in Empire to be a CG?
They should have.
No.
I don't know why they didn't. George, what are you doing? Change Empire.
I didn't need to change Empire.
Empire is perfect.
Empire, yep. I don't want to talk about Empire because I wasn't in control.
That's why it's a good movie.
I would just say that, correct?
Just check. It's always funny. I know when it's 45 minutes.
Don't worry about that.
I'm not worried. I'm just like, I know.
You can cut it down. We're doing good.
No, we don't. I don't.
We got a lot to talk about.
That's why, like, I always go, like, where are we next? And but like that, where are we next always happens at 45 minutes. I've done it on every one. Really? Like, it's like my internal.
You gotta put in turbo hourglass.
Yeah.
45-minute glass.
Yeah. I don't know why. Like, I know for a fact. I'm like 45 minutes bail. Okay, so where do you want to go next?
I mean, how much, like, we started this saying you wanted to be positive. We immediately got heated.
Right. I'm
You got a little heated.
I got heated from a positive perspective, sure, because of your negativity.
I'm sorry, don't hit me.
Where's the lightsaber? Where's the lighter? You took a blade out.
Nah, it's all there.
Oh, better bludgeoning weapon.
Oh.
A lightsaber fight, but neither of them are working, so they're just
Each other. It's just on battle. Terrible. That'd be terrible. Like,
brutal.
I'd rather.
I kind of love that. I might steal that. Like, both lightsabers get cut, so it just turns into a slugfest.
I think they just go to their fists.
That's what I'm saying. Anything.
So.
Cain and Abel shit, grabbing rocks.
That'd be wild. Oh man, that would have been cool if there was a segment in Battle of the Heroes where like they both lose their lightsabers, so they have to do like
Here, what is that?
is that not
Duel of the Fates.
Duel of the Fates?
Are we talking about Maul?
No, I'm talking about in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, okay. That's why I didn't know which
Because that segment is called the Battle of the Heroes.
Yeah, no, so that one I could.
The Duel of the Fates fight, Battles of the Heroes fight. The
That's why I didn't know the fights had names other than the duel.
well, but that was song. It's the song that plays.
Got you. I agree. That one could have turned into a fist fight. It almost did. Weren't they like choking each other at some point? Like
Yeah,
Anakin was like, oh god,
and like almost lays right there.
goes full Smeagol.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually, I like that.
but we're not talking about a good movie.
No. Wait a minute.
I know. That's my problem. A lot of my problems with the prequels is that there is a good story, there's a good plot, there's a good movie here. There's just it's a death by 1,000 cuts issue where
The one big stab wound from where I'm sitting.
well, he's the only person to ever die from it anyways.
That is kind of crazy looking back because
Yeah,
Qui-Gon as a ghost must be pissed. Nobody dies from something
that shit'll that they're not upset.
Do you think he just like dipped? Like he was just like, man, I could stick around, but I don't necessarily want to.
They'll never let me train the boy, so I might as well make the not ready Padawan do it.
Like it's calculated. If anyone did,
It's not.
it's not. But if anyone was to do it, it'd be Qui-Gon. Like
Don't get enough of
I said we don't get enough of Qui-Gon. But Qui-Gon is Sith adjacent. I said that as a joke because he is a good guy. He's a good guy, right? But he doesn't play by the dogma of the organization that he's a part of. He just is a good guy using his powers and doing what he thinks is good. He's almost a vigilante.
He's the
Like Sith adjacent's strong.
Sith adjacent is just wrong. I don't agree.
But he's not a Jedi.
No, he is a Jedi, but
He's a light side user. He's not a Jedi.
he's a Jedi.
No, Ahsoka's not a Jedi. Qui-Gon's not a Jedi.
Wait a minute.
That's on.
Qui-Gon didn't leave the order. Ahsoka did.
He might as well. He doesn't listen to the council.
That's fine, apparently.
No, it's not. It's not fine. He's just. They keep him around.
It sets them, but they're not going to kick him out because the only thing you have to do to get kicked out is leave.
So he just doesn't leave. But I don't.
But here's the thing.
He's not playing by the rules. That makes in my head. If you're not playing by the dogma, you're not a Jedi, right? You are a light side user.
I don't think you get to make that decision. You can feel that way.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
No, but my point about that is he is a Jedi, but back in the day with the extended universe, he is what a lot of people back in the day used to quantify as a gray Jedi.
It's not that you're saying the name. He's saying that it's in the name because Legends, unfortunately, as much as I love it, is pretty unoriginal in a lot of shit. There's a lot of like first thought shit in Legends. We need something in between Jedi and Sith. Let's call them gray Jedi.
I am perfectly
morally
red, not being a gray Jedi. I'm perfectly fine with him being a Jedi who's
but aside.
Just fundamentally disagrees with a lot of the council's decisions. Anakin disagrees with a lot of the council's decisions.
Yeah, you know, that's a great example. The great, but I think Ahsoka is a good.
Ahsoka, she gets framed and doesn't want to be the fall guy.
So we know Qui-Gon's death is the domino that kicks Count Dooku to the dark side. Right, because they're both
finding that out in that
they both what I say like not Jedi is because again the dogma of the Jedi we've talked about this before, and this is another big thing of like the Jedi really become what Yoda says because Yoda just lives so damn long. Then he trains so many Jedi that it's like his view of the Force is what the Jedi are.
Should have been so you have is what you're saying,
huh? There should have been term limits. That's probably, but that's why like Yoda feels so bad. It's like he's like, oh, I got us to this place. Qui-Gon has a different view of the Force, So that's not like dogmatically. He's not a Yoda Jedi. He's a Jedi. I'll give you that. I'm not saying kick him out of the order. He doesn't leave the order. I don't say he's a gray Jedi. He's Qui-Gon. He's a Qui-Gon Jedi. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If he's different than the other Jedi, then he's not a Jedi. He's just a light side user with a different view of the Force. That's why I'm drawing that line.
Okay.
So, and then Count Dooku is the same thing. If he's not really a Jedi, he's his own council. And then as soon as he sees what they do to Qui-Gon and what they do afterwards, he's like, oh, I am not a Jedi. I don't agree with anything you're doing. And switches teams.
I agree with the sentiment of what you're saying. I'm
Terminology. You don't
I'm hung up on the terminology of saying somebody isn't something that they are when they just have a different way of going about it. Like if I were to say, well,
You call them a gray Jedi.
I know, but that's still the Jedi's still in the name. But like, take this example: the clones aren't really clones. Yeah, they're clones of Jango Fett, but they're all their individual people, so that's not really a clone.
That's not the same.
Is that a false equivalency?
I think so.
Okay, well,
Because they literally are.
Judah's not really a Sith. He joined like late in life. He's only called Lord Tyrannus.
Honestly, I'm kind of in that vein that he's not a true.
Holy shit! What a take.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think specifically Dooku and Qui-Gon. If we're gonna categorize something as gray, I think those are the two best characters to put in that gray area. And obviously, Dooku doesn't like. Again, you're in a two-party system.
Yeah.
As a Force user, you definitely don't like the Jedi. So I guess you're a Sith now. But I do think, and then Qui-Gon's the same way. I'm not a Sith, so I guess I'm a Jedi. But both of them, I don't think they are. Obi-Wan, Jedi.
I think it's
100% Jedi.
I think it's some morality.
Thing. Mace Windu, that guy
has a strong moral compass.
That guy uses the dark side.
Still has a strong moral compass. Still has a I know there's a net.
I know, I just discovered him.
The thing is with Jedi versus Sith is like I like it in the terms of like the KOTOR games, because it's like you're the hero of the story, but what I explained this to Maddie when we started playing Mass Effect, is like you are the hero. What kind of hero are you? Are you a paragon or are you a renegade?
Yeah.
And I really like that. And I like that
A sliding scale.
It's a Bioware thing, but I really think that's a good way to tell that kind of story as well. Of like, you're going to get through the story anyway, but how you get through it and how it affects the story and characters around you is like super interesting to me.
I think that's a perfect way to explain how I feel about Qui-Gon, is that sliding scale. You have people, paragons, fully that way.
Yeah.
I don't think Qui-Gon's near that side. I think he's way more near the
He's
middle.
a little bit more of a centrist.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying.
So like the light fades to a gray.
Yes, but that's not a Jedi. I will use if you're putting him as a gray Jedi, that makes sense because he's not a Jedi.
Well, I can't.
If you put him as a libertarian, he's not a Delran anymore.
He's just centrist scum.
Libertarian is what I said. Hey,
That's not making claims we can't go.
only space politics.
Is the Force a religion?
And no. The Force isn't a religion. The Force is a concept.
You are going to cut all that out.
No, yes. I know we're back in. Yes, we're back in. The Force isn't a religion. It's like a form of energy, like a physics-based thing, like water. It's just a thing.
Sure, it's
But Sith and Jedi are religions. They are
they're dogmas.
Yes,
Yeah,
of the
their belief system. Sure.
way jump, because we were talking about the morality of Qui-Gon. I don't know if you've watched the Ahsoka show at all, but you have Ahsoka in Balin. So there's Ahsoka, and then there's a character called Balin, who are light side and dark side users, but both of them are outside those religions. They're not Sith and they're not Jedi. They are still the light and the dark, but it's outside of the religion of the Sith. They're like, you have to claim power. And the Jedi are like, be lame, I guess. I don't know how to describe Jedi in one sentence. But to answer your question, 100% the Jedi and Sith are religions. Because you have like Donnie Yen's character in Rogue One,
Right.
who's got his own religion. in view of the Force.
Sure.
He's not it. They're like, are you a Jedi?
He's not a Force user.
No, he's not a Force user. No, well, he does seem to use the Force, but it's different. It's a different perspective.
Sure.
It's different. There's so many cultures that worship the sun. They're not all the same, right? They're all wildly different gods and beliefs.
Qui-Gon talks about the living Force constantly. As an example of like a different viewpoint on that. In fact, I have over on the the coffin bookshelf, I have the Jedi Guidance handbook, and I have the Sith handbook. And there's a whole section about the living Force, and I love those little pieces of exterior media because they have little notes from different characters in the margins, and I think that's really cool.
That was Legends era, right?
I think so, but it was coming out around the same time as the animated Clone Wars because of Ahsoka.
Yeah, that's fine. It'll be like pre-Disney.
It's pre-Disney, but it's right.
Multimedia used to be really fun.
Yes,
You can get a book.
all the
And
games
have all the games are the biggest ones. Like even like the Phantom Menace levels of the Lego Star Wars games. The pod race, the hardest level I've like.
You had to play
in there. That was insanely difficult. Wasn't there a pod racing game?
There's two. There's Racers, and then there's Racers Revenge.
Yeah.
Which I think I have one of them. You want to talk about a hard Star Wars game? The Phantom Menace game. You play as Obi-Wan. It is hard as balls, dude. It's difficult. Like, and for a little kid on a PlayStation, or I think it was just PlayStation
At that time,
but like, dude, that game's ridiculously difficult, and it's not great.
No.
I never got very far because it's so difficult for a kid. I'd love to go back and play it, but like, phew.
This is only tangentially related, but I had a plug-and-play TV
Oh, the joystick
game for Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, it was Vader's head.
That was
He had a weird Vader dick.
oh, that makes a lot of sense now. That's the core memory, but I will not explain. I will not let.
No, don't. No, that's lore.
That's lore. Oh, I love the pod racing.
I think it goes.
It's a little long.
It's a little long. There's just moments that are like, I understand the tool. 3 laps, perfect race kind of thing.
They do show you the entire race.
It's like 5 minutes too long.
Yeah, I wanna know the actual time.
20 minutes.
It felt that way. It sure felt that way. I don't know if that's accurate, but it did feel that way.
It's too long, and it's right in the middle of the movie. It's not exciting.
No,
the pod race is exciting.
I do like it.
There is a moment near the end, right, like in the last, right as the last 5 minutes of it start, where you're just like, are we still going?
yeah. It almost feels like you're watching a real race. By the end of the race, you're like, all right,
Okay, come on.
all right, I get it.
We could have cut 1 lap. Why didn't we make it 1 circuit?
Dude,
just make it a longer thing.
We were bang on. It's just over 15 minutes long.
Okay.
I think 3 to 5 minutes.
Just cut 3 to 5 minutes. You could still keep it 3 laps and just cut out a bunch of like
it's very cool.
you know what would have been
And it is
there.
I don't even think you need to necessarily like cut any of the laps out. Just don't put as many like insert shots in.
Yeah.
Like, just scrape seconds here and there and get us to the point quicker.
We don't need so many reaction shots of people watching. We're in the race.
Yeah, there's
Have us in the race.
that whole added sequence that's not in the original cut that they added in at some point with the magnet. Yeah,
I know mine because I
know.
remember that.
I gaslit you a little bit, but yeah, that's not in the original.
Thanks.
That's not on the VHS.
It's so strange.
Right? It was in the digital release.
I'm glad it isn't.
That's one of the that could be a cut. It's a little insert that
They
doesn't.
did cut it.
Well, so I'm like, yeah, the theatrical release, yeah, that doesn't need to be there.
But the weird thing is, like, that it's so strange that they chose to cut that because it's a point towards Anakin's character because he's resourceful.
Yeah.
He knows that something like that can happen, so he has a tool in the cockpit to be able to latch onto the thing and reattach the cave.
Like I'm not mad about it
don't
being
think
there,
it's
but it is an example of like you cut it for a reason. And I'm like, it's already too long. You don't need to adding things.
It kind of robs a little of the tension. How long we're in the he's fiddling with shit to fix the thing. It's like
You can cut.
just-
What's his name?
fix it.
Ben, with the guy who stalls out.
The guy who stalls out and blows up.
Don't need him. Don't need him.
I would honestly, if I were to again, there are good movies.
It's cartoony.
It is.
You don't need that one thing.
It's
part of it.
entertaining.
Dude, so many people brutally die, and then there's this one guy who's just like having a Wile E. Coyote moment.
Yeah.
Like I'm just thinking of the little gecko guy who's like, that blows up.
I wonder if there's enough for you to cut it in a certain way that we're with Anakin most of the race. Like again, like I said, there are good movies in the prequels. Yeah, I think that would be great. I would love to see you put together a pod race scene.
Just a slightly tighter pop.
You had the great idea.
I really want to do that.
Yeah, go, tell them.
Well,
It's a great idea.
I actually don't know if I want to.
You don't-
put it out there.
Okay.
because I might do it. At some
All right, I won't say it.
But
There is a really cool way that
pod races are cool.
pod races are cool.
It's a cool concept. I love this. I
like that. Like
the speed race, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is a highly dangerous race.
Yeah.
People are going to die during this race, and it's very cool. The fact that a kid's doing it is fucking insane.
I like that there's a line at the dinner where Quietly's like, you pod race. So a lot of, very dangerous, requires very,
You must have Jedi reflex.
you must have Jedi reflexes. It's like, that's cool. That's that's world building.
He knows.
That's world build.
Yes, figuring it out.
I will say this as a point towards, I can imagine some people would have an issue with this, but this isn't like any of the problems I brought up. There is a definitive moment in the movie when we get to Tatooine and we're interacting with Qui-Gon, interacting with Anakin. And the more they do, the moment where like Qui-Gon's priorities shift, and they hard shift away from like, yes, he still has to protect the Queen. Yes, he needs to get them to Coruscant, but this kid is the most important thing to him right now.
Yep.
He almost shunts Obi-Wan to the side because of how important.
Yeah.
And I love Obi-Wan doesn't really actually take it all that personal.
No, because you can tell that he trusts Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, so you're Robin to Batman, right? You're on the same level.
Their relationship's rocky.
You're what, for Robin or Batman or
Robin and Batman.
Okay.
That relationship's always rocky, but like there's still a level of trust there.
There's trust and respect and high level, like they're on the same page. This is a unit.
Yeah.
Right? So you had when he comes back with the test, obviously midichlorian's whole subject, but he comes back with the test, and Obi-Wan's like he's off the charts. He's higher than Master Yoda. And he's like, he's higher than everyone. And Obi-Wan's like, what does this mean? Like he understands the importance. Like he doesn't know what to do with it, but he's not mad because he trusts Qui-Gon, and Qui-Gon just brought him something that made him go, holy shit.
I've never seen anyone like this.
I don't know what to do with this.
And
Qui-Gon's like, I don't know what to do with this.
This is
And so that frankness of like, we have to figure this out together.
This is clearly important. I believe there is a reason that we had been brought together. I think there's an important. I think elements of the Force are moving things together, kind of thing. Like whatever Qui-Gon says.
And then Obi-Wan doesn't miss a beat at the councils when he's like, impossible for you to take another apprentice, and Qui-Gon's like, fucking, he's ready, and Obi-Wan's like, I am ready. Yeah,
I'm ready.
I don't think he is ready. I don't think he thinks he's ready, but he trusts Qui-Gon. He's like, I know Qui-Gon has to train this kid, so I'm going to be ready whether I need to or not.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to get in the way of this.
And I love...
He's so ride or die.
I really, really do. And it's another point of we don't get enough of Qui-Gon. Wow, Ewan McGregor does such a good job as Obi-Wan. What
amazing.
Perfect casting.
Amazing.
Throughout everything he's in.
Yeah, no bad iteration.
No. Obi-Wan is a great character all the way throughout, and he's a difficult character to like.
Yeah.
To like.
And what makes you say that?
Because he's not inherently trustworthy.
Obi-Wan?
No.
Well, right. Again, the line of Count Dooku, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan.
There is that. Obi-Wan is also like he has his own agenda.
Yeah. Well, he learns from Qui-Gon, right? And Qui-Gon rigs the game of chance to get Anakin. and that teaching leads Obi-Wan to mind trick people.
Well, he doesn't really see that, so that's
No, but I'm saying it's patterns.
yes, yeah.
Right? Like if the person trying
Qui-Gon most certainly has done that in a different aspect with Obi-Wan right there.
Obi-Wan learned that he sometimes need to manipulate.
Master, what are you doing? Be cool. What? Be cool.
Well, like even fast forward when Luke grows up. Obviously, okay, so like the timeline storyteller, we're moving that aside. We're looking at it as a coherent story.
Sure.
Obi-Wan lies to Luke. Your father wanted you to have this.
This thing I picked up after I fucking
He turns it.
vivisected that
He
man.
turns it into a family heirloom and bounds Luke by honor to do this thing that he needs him to do.
Yeah,
He makes up a story.
it's so manipulative.
Yeah, and that's from Qui-Gon, and that's from Dooku. I like Dooku. I don't like he's not too far away from Qui-Gon, and Qui-Gon's not too far away from Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is the best Jedi, I think, of all time, but he does some fuck shit.
Agree on that.
He does some questionable things.
And again, I think Jedi in general, just how they're set up, is that they're arbiters of peace and justice, but they're also like judge, jury, executioner.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a really warped mentality, and that's why, and because of that mentality, it can be in some hands and some people's hands a virulent force for good. But
You can see the flip side.
But you can see the flip
people
side
would be
is that-
very upset of their reach.
Yeah, you are way in a lot of exterior things. Whatever the Jedi show,
How do we even say no? Like, if I disagree with you, are you gonna cut me down with your laser sword?
I'm not going in there with two Jedi. Remember that?
Oh, he was terrified.
It's like, I'm not doing that. A, I can read my minds. B, they can make me do things I don't want to do. They have laser swords. I don't know what else I don't want to go in there. Send a droid.
I'm not going in there with Space Merlin. He might turn me into a toad.
He might. He might think you're a toad and treat you like one. But that is to say, Obi-Wan is a great character. And as much as the prequels are a story about how Anakin becomes Darth Vader to set up the original, it is also a story of like, who is Obi-Wan
Yeah.
and where does he go? Because like, he's less of a master father figure to Anakin.
He's a more of a terrible
brother.
Yeah, he's a terrible father figure.
Yeah, no, but he's a really good sibling.
That's things like Qui-Gon should have been the guy to teach Anakin.
And that's why it's the duel of the fates, depending on who, comes out of this. Like, Anakin's fate is beholden to whoever wins that fight.
Like, obviously, the lore is what the lore is, but just as a in-world speculation, you think if Qui-Gon makes it out of there, Anakin still turns dark side? Because my opinion is yes.
Because of prophecy.
That it's the prophecy, but also
The interpretation of the prophecy is that they read it wrong, and that the prophecy is
right. You have way too many Jedi. It means to get balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Qui-Gon.
Well, okay, so
It's
here's
Qui-Gon.
so
So if he's gonna teach him the dark side,
so the prophecy is brought up in this, and we're introduced to this idea of the lore of there's a prophecy that the Jedi are aware of, that a chosen one will come and bring balance to the Force, and what that means is who the fuck knows. A lot of people interpret it as like we just said, there's too many Jedi, so we need to bring it back down, but that doesn't really work. And there's another interpretation of like where it doesn't really work for me either, where Vader becoming Anakin again and then killing the Emperor and then dying brings balance to the Force.
right? It's like it's two sides. Look, finish your point.
So the idea is like, is the prophecy true, but it has to clean slate?
Yeah, I personally, I think the step one of the prophecy is destroying the Jedi because there's too many of them.
It's an imbalance in the light.
It's very imbalanced, so you have to radically shift the pendulum the other way. But by the
Occam's razor wings,
it goes that way, and then by the end of Anakin's story, he has destroyed the Jedi and the Sith.
Right.
Because it's the dogmas of the Force that are the problem, not the light or the dark. The light and the dark are natural. They live in balance and harmony, and go side by side. But you have standing institutions in either side. That's the imbalance.
So the hope is Luke, is that he will be able to
Have
a more balanced force wielders or teaching of Jedi.
and it goes straight back into Jedi.
And it goes like hard pivot back into all the same problems that we had. Well, we don't even know that. We're not giving enough information. We're just giving he made a very stupid, out of character split decision that doomed the galaxy.
If you can say if I can say one positive thing about my headcanon of the sequels, is that it preserves the balance that Anakin created, because he destroyed the Jedi and the Sith, but then Luke tried to remake the Jedi, and so Kylo had to rebalance it, and then he tried to remake the Sith, and then had to rebalance it, and then Rey walked away, theoretically. Supposedly she'll make a new Jedi Order, but that hasn't happened yet. So there's still balance. Yay!
I don't know. As contentious and not as heated as we've gotten with we haven't even talked about Attack of the Clones, and I personally feel it's the weakest of the three prequels.
Yeah, well,
Attack of the Clones.
so you don't have the same standing of Phantom Menace that I do, right? Like, you don't think it's a
No, but I have
high
softened on it.
But when you rank all the movies, it's not in the bottom 4.
5, 4, 6, 3.
Oh, 5, 4, 6. Yes. Okay, you're going from the top. Yeah. Okay. 5, 4, 6.
5, 4, 6. 3, 1, 2.
There you go. That's what I was saying. It's
7, 8, 9.
yeah. 7, 8.
And
Yeah, that's a good way to put that.
Depending on the day, 8 and 9 switch because of how pissed off I am at certain little points.
That's what I'm saying. Out of 9 movies, you're ranking this one that gets shit on probably the most. It does a Jar Jar.
It's right in the middle.
It's not a bad movie. There is.
I guess still is a villain.
Yeah.
There's a good story there. There's a good story in.
Again, other than the Jar Jar smudge, I think it's a good film.
Okay.
Especially because, like, the term, like, film, the way Phantom Menace is shot is, you can see a stark difference in Attack the Clones. Phantom Menace still has this, like, cinematic feel, like real tangible filmy feel. Attack of the Clones is digital, and like it shows this total shift.
But even then, I don't really have like a big problem with how most of, like, I would say that a lot of good things in the prequels have like asterisks next to them. But like, I don't really have a problem with a lot of the visuals of the prequels. I don't like Jar Jar, but like, he looks like a Star Wars character.
Yeah, I just wish he wasn't annoying.
I just wish he wasn't.
Like, if he wasn't, like, you can keep everything about Jar Jar the exact same. Don't give him that accent, and don't make him the dumbest thing to exist, and he's fine. Like, he probably adds to the story, because you can go, look at this amazing CG character who doesn't make me want to kill him.
Look at our Chewbacca for this series.
Yeah, he's great. Chewbacca Yoda thing. Great. Love him. I said this while we were watching it, and I think it's one of the strongest things about Phantom Menace is that, like you said, you had a problem with it visually. Every shot introduces something to, like, the Star Wars world building. Like, there's a random shot of a pit droid. It's like, oh, I had pit droid toys. It's like random shot of this guy. Well, this guy has a whole backstory and now a spin-off book and a comic book, and now he's got his own toys I can also collect. And every character has a name, every background character has a thing going on.
Right, that was cool growing up with that.
It was so fun, and like it makes the world feel tangible and fun and real and stuff. And like in the sequels, and just have literally zero of that. Like, there is just every shot does almost the reverse. It's like you're showing me elements, almost like an AI.
You can, like, you know, like how popular the toys are.
Yeah, it's like I don't think I've seen like Star Wars
Shells.
Like I see Rey and Kylo. Kylo, I imagine, sells like hotcakes
Sure.
because he's cool.
Captain Phasma when the Force Awakens was coming out.
Yeah, they kept introducing these characters that look cool and to sell toys, and then didn't do anything with them. Which they can say like, "Oh, well, that's our Boba Fett."
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, no, that was a mistake. Don't make characters that don't exist for toys.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that. But my point was just that, like, it's very rich. You can tell that there's love and care and a lot of creativity just fucking smashed into this movie.
I think the difference between the Disney era and like George Lucas being wholly in control of the prequels. The original series is what it is because of all the factors that went into making each part.
A lot of collaborations.
A lot of collaboration, a lot of like where they were at the time kind of deal. And we'll get to them eventually and we'll talk about them. But like the prequels are such a interesting like window into the creator's mind of George Lucas. And at the end of the day, he's more interested in telling the story he wants to tell. So I can't really fault that coming from the heart of George. I can fault the execution. I could fault the like the setup of like not having enough people around him to tell them no on things. Which I don't know how he would be able to set that up. That requires a certain level of like
You almost have to have not made it. Like he already made it.
Yeah.
Right. So like
he already had it all.
he was a legend before he made the prequels.
Right.
It's like you can't go.
The documentary for making the first one, he comes out to the ring clapping and he goes, "There it is. There's the script."
Yeah.
And people are just like eating it. She's just so happy.
Very almost dictator.
It's like, come on, guys. Let's read the thing before. Like, yes, he completed a script, but like, isn't that kind of what we need to do to make the fucking thing?
It seems to me like the same tonal dissonance that like we were talking about the Obi-Wan series, where it's like there's things obviously made for children, and that's cool. And that's if the whole thing was a kids movie, the central plot of the movie is a logical depiction of politics in this world that he built.
And all that flies way over.
No kid understands that.
Cares.
I like it as an adult who understands it completely. But again, there's like, is it a politics movie or is it a Jar Jar cartoon? Which one is it?
And
it tries to be both. And if it's one or the other, then like, if it's a complete cartoon and you don't like cartoons, it's not your movie. If it's a complete political thriller with some John Wick style violence, which honestly, all the fights in this movie are beautiful.
I mean, it's not to say that there's like not action.
No, the action's fantastic. But again, then it flip flops to the cartoony and back, and it's like you're grounded in some areas, you're not grounded in your other. It takes me out of the story because I don't know which aisle to be in. I'll be happy in either.
Yeah,
just stick in one.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Again, it's so funny that we can.
It's just what we just said about the pod racer guy, where it's like you have a cartoon pod racer and then a horrifying death.
Well, then
back to back.
Like a lot of the like naysay of like you will hear people defend the and I haven't had you made this argument, but you did bring it up in a way of being like, why are you thinking about this so hard? It's a movie for kids, and then you're like. But it's a movie for kids that has all this politics stuff going on, right? Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, that's not... I don't want to say it's not fair, but it's like, it just doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't feel good as the viewer.
Yeah, I don't...
Or at least for me.
No, I honestly, I agree with you. Is like, you have to look at George Lucas's mind where he's like, it's for 12-year-olds. But A New Hope was massive with kids. And it wasn't for kids. At some point, I think between 5 and 6, George pivoted to kids.
Yeah.
And then with the prequels, it has a bit of a problem where he's like, no, this is for kids. So I'm going to put cartoony shit in here because I know that's what kids like.
Like politics and war.
Well, no. I'm talking about the cartoony stuff.
Okay.
He's an adult writer, but now he's trying to pander to an audience when he doesn't need to do that. Because he didn't pander in A New Hope and he didn't pander in Empire. Kids still loved those. But I think he just got in his head where it's like, oh no, this is my target audience. Where it's like, that's not what made those movies successful.
When we started to pander in Return of the Jedi, and people view it as like the
Yeah,
least good of the original
adults
series.
did not like the Ewoks
No.
when that movie came out.
No, why would you?
Yeah, and I think enough time went on. It's where the kids who saw it grew up, and then he heard like how much people loved the Ewoks, and he's like, "Oh, my fans are young, so when they grow up, they'll have good memories of Star Wars. Not for my fans who are old, who have those good memories of Star Wars."
It's completely missing what. It's completely misunderstanding like what aspects of the thing you created drew people to.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
So I never really thought about this, but there's a moment when we were watching it together where it's very clear the plan is falling apart for Palpatine.
There's a brief moment where
There's a
he's
brief
like, "This is
moment.
not how this is supposed to go."
He's been doing. I really, really hate the idea that Palpatine planned everything meticulously, and it's like you actually can't do that because there's too many moving parts. You can make broad plans for things to happen and put pieces in place to move, but there's still autonomy in other characters to counteract it. So, the Jedi coming instead of like a diplomat,
That was not part of the plan.
that wasn't part of the plan. We're gonna have to escalate our timetable. Let's just move it. Just send the forces. Go, 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 go. Is that fine? I'll make it fun.
No.
Do it.
No.
Do it. Then it's like, okay, just make her sign the treaty. It'll be perfectly fine, and then we'll deal with that later. Yeah. Are you gonna tell him about the Jedi? I'm not telling him anything until we have something to tell him. Okay, that's other people's autonomy. Not now. I would say,
Bro, that doesn't mean you said that he couldn't have planned it. No, he makes the plans.
he tells them to kill them.
He gets lucky, right? Like the Palpatine plan, he planned it out. You're right. There's a degree where it could he gets lucky that it all works out.
So what?
But you said he couldn't plan it. You can plan it. You can't bank on it being successful.
Okay, so what is his plan at the beginning of the movie before Padme comes to Coruscant? What is the plan?
Well, so it's trade blockade.
Right.
Because I honestly think the plan is to get Valorum out of being the Chancellor.
Okay.
I think that's the goal.
That's the end all goal.
Because you got to remember the Trade Federation. It's part of the goal. The goal A, get Valorum out. Which I don't know at what stage that became part of the plan, but that is part of the plan. The other is sowing unrest. The Trade Federation becomes part of the separatist states that break away from the Republic.
Right.
And so it is finding those lines.
Right.
He is stirring up trouble and seeing which side people fall on, so he knows how to better. Like it's not stage 1. It's probably like stage 5.
The plan is to rule the galaxy, right?
Yeah.
So the very get-go is
You have to call it division.
Eventually, yeah, cause unrest. Put yourself in a place of power. Best way to do that is to garner sympathy. So have my use my own planet,
Yes.
to garner sympathy. If
It's a great plan.
it's an okay plan.
Well, the original plan was to just like kill the queen or to have her sign.
That would garner sympathy. It's like my home planet has been taken over by the separatists.
And who would be the voice of Naboo at that point?
It would be him.
It would be the senator.
Solely him.
And he could turn around and say, Valorum, you failed.
I know confidence. I'm the only representative that could do it now. Even if he could do it as a senator before, he's got a huge sympathy thing. I'm running.
Yep.
And then that
Which again is how he wins, but
is kind of how it goes down anyway. But
so when it feels sorry, say your thing.
well, go ahead.
I was gonna say it feels like proper dungeon mastering. He has his goal of what he wants to do.
Right.
He has his avenues of how maybe he can get there, and he's waiting to just see how the pieces shake out. It's like, all right, I need to get Valorum out of Chancellor. All right, well, I can do it by killing Padme. Oh, she doesn't. She doesn't leave. Okay, so I have to be here. All right, well, Padme is gone. What happened to her? I don't know. Oh, she's back. Oh, thank God she's back. Immediately try to corrupt her to get her to vote no confidence. Pull it that way. Boom. Plan is done. That got a little hairy, but I got here.
Palpatine does a great job. Okay.
Oh, and then it almost falls apart because she decides to go.
And you see it on his face of like, what?
Like that. No, that's not part of the plan. And I love it because I pointed out while we were watching because like you can see it on his, like, it's great acting. Ian's great.
Yeah.
You can see it on his face where it's like, no, please don't do that, because now at this point in time, if they sign a treaty, that's gonna hurt the shit that he just set up. Like, it was fine a little while ago, but now it's not fine. I've changed my plans.
Right.
And then when it all shakes out and ends up still being a victory for him at the end, you see how happy he is, where he's like, I can't believe this all worked out for me. Yay. It went down. We got so sketched. Not able to show an ally there. I'm the Chancellor. Naboo, my hometown, is probably the seat of power now in the galaxy. Where the Jedi are tied up in this shit now. Qui-Gon's dead. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Dooku, that my apprentice died, but now there's this other Jedi.
My apprentice died, but I'll
like, he was already.
We'll figure that out.
He already had his fingers.
We'll figure that out.
Near Dooku, and then immediately snatches him up.
Snatches him up pretty quickly, right after. Yeah, right after Qui-Gon died.
Kills Yaddle in that same.
Good.
That's such a great story.
I really could use more, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, okay. You got an animation. You can't. I would love 4 2-hour-long animated Star Wars movies
About Count Dooku.
about literally anything. But yes, sure. Young Count Dooku is an area I would love to see.
Yeah, I really like Dooku and Qui-Gon in that short.
I would love a concurrent Dooku, Qui-Gon, Palpatine, Plagueis weaving of stories.
Very interesting.
That'd be very interesting. Well, I don't know if the timeline works out.
There's a book.
Yeah, I know. And then the Acolyte touches Plagueis too, but
so yeah, the plan, he's doing remarkably well for adjusting to the plan. People are fucking up my plan, and even the people I'm in control of are fucking up my plan.
he pivots well.
He pivots incredibly well.
That's a
Good point for your villain.
I love
because
I love him.
as an adult, as a kid, didn't understand it.
Yeah,
But as an adult, I think it's very clear going into it. You know that Emperor Palpatine is Senator Palpatine is the Emperor,
yeah.
right? So it's like, okay, well, so it's a story about how Anakin becomes Darth Vader. It's a story of who is Obi-Wan, and it's a story of how Palpatine became the Emperor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it does those things remarkably well, I would think.
I think it does.
With a few asterisks, a few caveats, blah 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 blah.
With the Palpatine stuff, like I mean, we did our ranking video. Palpatine's at the top of my list because of the pivots, right? Like he strategizes well. His plans are multifaceted because if one goes down, he's got another one. I had to kill Dooku. Didn't think about that. Okay, well now Grievous is the guy, and I have Anakin now.
I think Dooku is the weakest point in his plan of how to get rid of Dooku.
Well, Maul wasn't supposed to die.
No, Maul wasn't supposed to die, but like, unforeseen things. But like, I feel like, man, you really could have. I feel like you could have done something else.
I think he's the nearest guy. I think it was nearest guy, and he needed to fill a slot.
I feel like it was kind of a test for Anakin to be like, all right, if you're really hot shit, you can do this easily.
It was a stepping stone, right?
Right.
It was a buffer,
right?
Because he knows he wanted him. You brought this up during the movie of you like the theory. I like it as well. Of he didn't create Anakin. No, a lot of people say that of Palpatine created Anakin.
Comic book.
Yeah, and there's a lot
so damning.
Yeah, even if it's actual canon, I don't like it, and I don't agree with it because it's way better if Palpatine already had these plans and stumbled into Anakin.
Yeah,
Because Maul is supposed to be his guy and he dies. Fuck. Who is this kid? Ah, this kid is the key to it all. Because if you think he is the chosen one, or you just think he's strong, or you think of the prophecy, if you're Palpatine and you think of the prophecy and you know that got to create balance and whatever, and you're looking at the imbalance of Jedi versus the one Sith at that point, clearly you believe that shit too, that he's going to help you destroy everyone and just snacks that little guy up. We'll watch your career great actress. I like that line as I didn't even think I'd have this.
Yeah, we'll see where
My plan almost fell apart and it succeeded. Yay, go me. And now I have my replacement.
better than I planned it.
Everything's coming up miles.
Yeah, but I think Palpatine's a really great point in the Phantom Menace as well. I think none of the problems come. Well,
I think it's all George.
Anakin's acting isn't great, and it's a kid.
It's a kid.
I know. I don't want to be too mean to Jake.
I mean,
It doesn't seem fair, and I want to more so chalk that up to George's directing.
Yeah,
Because also there's multiple lines with Padme where it's just like, Padme, like,
Yeah.
I know her delivery could be better.
yeah. Well, and it's an open secret that George isn't the best at directing actors. Right? He's not a hating guy, a bunch of hate. But you brought up Ewan earlier, and I wanted to slip this little point in, so this is a perfect tie-in where he's like the only, him and like maybe Christopher Lee, maybe Ian McDermott, where there's a handful of actors where it's like that direction wasn't a problem. They took that shitty direction and still nailed it.
Yeah, I would say Liam Neeson as well is in there.
Yeah,
I can't think of a moment where I don't think Liam Neeson had a good delivery or a good like character acting moment.
and he's just kind of like flat the whole movie.
Well, he's stoic, and I'm okay with the character being that because there's plenty of characterization besides him being stoic.
He's a very good example of show and don't tell.
There's
It's the actions he's doing is how you learn about the character, not the things he says.
I quoted a lot. My favorite line from Qui-Gon is when he's talking to Watto after the race. I lost everything. Well, my friend, sometimes when you gamble, you lose.
Yeah, when he cheated.
Well, no. Anakin did win the race. He cheated on the gambling, but he didn't cheat in the
Right, it's a bit high horse.
It's not illegal. It's a gray area.
I'm just saying.
You want to talk about
that character? It shows what kind of guy he is.
Yeah,
because the dramatic irony of the audience of like the fuck shit this guy's been doing. Now he's talking down to Watto.
He like gets upset. It's like, do you really want to take this to the Hutts?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I like the line where he's like, you're a Jedi, you have a laser sword. Maybe I killed a Jedi and took it from him. Just the foreshadowing. It's subtle foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Like George is not his strong suit is not actors, and it's not necessarily dialogue.
It's not writing.
But he is a good storyteller. And there are moments like that where it's like, if I need his foreshadowing is usually pretty good. And it's moments like those where it's like first watch through and you're like, well, it's because Jedi can die. We've seen Obi-Wan die, so maybe it's a pun about Obi-Wan dying. And then you get to the end of the movie and you're like, oh no, it was foreshadowing that Qui-Gon's gonna die. And then you get to Revenge of the Sith and you're like, oh no, it was foreshadowing that Anakin kills them all.
Yeah.
It's just layers on layers and layers and layers. And obviously, more people should tell him no. But there are stuff like that. Like George he's a very good artist.
It's a mixed bag. Unfortunately.
And unfortunately, I think that's a good way to put it. Is it mixed bag. If George was a little more consistent, then Disney probably doesn't get it.
Well, here's my thing. I think people were going to be upset no matter what. And I don't say that with like the sequels in mind either. I think people were going to be upset with the sequels, but I think I think there has been a redemption in a way of the prequels because of what happened with the sequels. I think people go back to those old. I mean, we'll have to see.
I think I think you're right, but I think the redemption was on its way regardless. And then we got actual dog shit movies, and we were like, oh, these are actually bad. Like the prequels weren't actually bad; they just had bad moments.
I don't want to. I know we're going to. I actually really don't want to rewatch the sequels. I don't want to watch Attack of the Clones again, but I will.
I don't know.
And I'll watch Attack of the Clones. I don't really want to watch Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker.
No, and God, you know what? I don't know. Well, that's a good point of like the rewatchability. If I'm watching Star Wars movies, I don't want to watch the sequels again. I don't want to watch Attack of the Clones again. I don't necessarily like watching the originals again. I like watching A New Hope. I like watching Phantom Menace, and I like watching Revenge of the Sith. I will watch those again and again and again and again.
I'll at least throw on New Hope. I love Empire all the time. You can throw that on nauseum of repeat. And yeah, no. Revenge of the Sith.
No.
For sure.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, like Phantom Menace
There's a lot wrong
gets in there for me
with the prequels, but like, yeah, they're more watchable. They're better movies than the sequels. They're not great movies. They're better movies than the sequels.
I mean, obviously there's some bias because we grew up with them, but I find a hard time being like, the prequels have things wrong with them. They have really odd choices.
Again, it's a death by 1,000 cuts.
It is death by
You can
but when you watch the Rise of Skywalker and you're like, no, this movie's wrong because there's things
fundamental.
There's things that are fundamentally wrong. I can't say that about the prequels. They're not fundamentally wrong. There's Death by 1,000 Cuts. It's Dexter Jettster. It's Jar Jar Binks. It's
I don't even mind Dexter Jettster that much.
no. There nothing wrong with Revenge of the Sith. Perfect movie. Maybe underutilization of Padme. We were talking about that. I can't wait to talk about Revenge of the Sith, but
yeah, that's this is all preamble.
Yeah, I do think we need to.
I think
you have to cut it at some point.
I think we've covered Phantom Menace.
Oh, sorry, gotta rate it.
Rating.
What is your rating of Phantom Menace?
Oh man, this is really hard to start with too. Out of all the Star Wars,
I'll ask you: do you want to keep it like we're gonna rank the Star Wars movies, or we just broad general as a movie goes? We're putting our rating on that way.
Well,
because we'll have to be consistent. We'll be consistent.
They heard me rate my ranking.
We did rank them, I guess. Yeah,
in Star Wars, but we should rank them against the other list too.
Yeah. So overall, this is just like same thing as all the other rankings.
1 to 10.
1 to 10. What's your rating of The Phantom Menace? 1999's Phantom Menace.
This is really difficult because my heart says 5, but like I want to give it like an in between of 5.5, but I'm going to be a little kinder to the Phantom Menace, honestly, and say no, my heart says 5. I was going to say 6, but no. You take your good with your bad. A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, and boy, do they sprinkle it on there on some bits.
Yeah.
So I think it's a solid 5, which is upsetting, especially after the long drought. Yeah. Could you imagine being a fan back in the day?
We were discussing it, watching it. I was like, can you imagine going from the originals and then watching The Phantom Menace, and you get that scene, like it's like right when it starts, first 2 minutes, where it's like Obi-Wan, boom, Yoda, boom, they're name dropping guys, and they're like, that's Liam fucking Neeson, this is gonna be incredible, and like they immediately start action from that point, and then Jar Jar gets introduced like 10 minutes into the movie, if that, and it's weird as fuck from that point on if you're coming from those other movies.
And I wasn't pointing out like every issue I have with it, and like the heady hits keep coming immediately, and so do the problems. So like that's where it's like
I agree with you. Like if I was a fan back then, it wasn't in like it would have been. My rating, it's actually funny. It's almost the inverse of what you said. I really like this movie. really like a lot of things about it. I like the politics. I like the Palpatine stuff. I do like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon's story and Maul and even down to the things like Padme being a decoy. The reveal is pretty silly. I don't like the reveal, but having it as a plot element is fun because you go back and we were having like a little game where we were like pitching out, is it Keira Knightley or Natalie Portman? And them switching scenes is like a whole plot point that if you pay attention to changes the tone of the movie. And it's stuff I love. And then there's Jar Jar Binks. So I think fundamentally when I squint and hold my thumb up to the smudge that's on the camera, this movie is a 7 or 8. And then I unsquint my eyes and there's Jar Jar Binks and I can't put it past a 6. As much as I love it,
I think that's
not.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
So I put it as a 6, and it's funny because it being a 6, I can just theorize what other ratings are for the rest of this franchise. And as much as I love this franchise, God, there's gonna be some dog shit ratings off of this on this list. There you go.
Get ready to roller coaster this. But it's funny. We're a lot closer than I thought we were.
Yeah, I think it's a realistic way to put it. I mean, we've talked before that the 4 to 6 range is just like it's the valley. It's the uncanny valley of our rating systems. If it's super bad, like 1 to 3, or it's super high, 7 to 10, it's like, all right, there's something I took from this. But it's like when you get in that 5 to 6 range, it's like I'm left without something. I feel like I didn't gain here,
right?
And like that's upsetting. So it's funny. It ends up on the same bracket for me, like as Fantastic Four, just because of Jar Jar. Jar Jar, you said
it's that damaging to the movie for you.
It's not even so damaging.
Like I don't like him, but like I have so many other problems that like
it's really just Jar Jar for me. Like you said, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Yeah, well, a rotten ingredient ruins a meal.
Yeah. Oh man, that's really good.
And that's how I feel. It's a gourmet 5-course meal to me, but there's just rotten fish.
It's fucking
yeah.
Oh, that's great. I love it. Yeah,
so I think that's
Phantom Menace.
So that's the Phantom Menace. We'll come back with the episode 2 and eventually the rest of them as well. So if you are still here, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Tell your friends if you really enjoyed. I stole that from another YouTuber, but I kind of like it. It's please tell your friends about us if you watch.
Yeah, word of mouth. I mean, the only thing that we bring to anything that we talk about is our personality. So if you like us, maybe your friends will too.
Yeah, we want to create a community here, and we want to hear from you as well. So other than that, we will see you Tuesday.
Do you have a question?
Do you have a question
to end it on?
I thought we were ending on the ratings.
I suppose so.